All right. Hi, everybody. This is our second Monday of the month of April, and we're going to do some more work on Artisan. Do any of you need any information regarding the Pixie 500 stuff that came out on Sunday?
I haven't even looked at it yet, just to be honest.
You haven't looked at it? Okay.
Not this week. Now I have looked at it all the other weeks.
Okay, so you are planning to participate with Pixie 500? I think you
Yes,
said you
ma'am.
were. You
I
sent
have
me
my
a
book
note, right?
ordered even.
Pardon?
I even have a book ordered
Yay!
because
All
y'all
right.
told me that was a good thing to do.
Yes, yes. So I think you sent me a note saying that you were participating. So good.
Correct.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and start with Artisan, and I will pull up my screen. I think that's the right one. Okay, so you guys see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Judy, when you when you've uploaded your kit, do you know to go to my categories and click on kits not in any category?
No.
Um, this is where whenever I upload something, I come here after it's uploaded into my account and I look for it in here. Now, there is a glitch in Artisan that all of these kits are in my Artisan kit categories,
Right.
but for some reason they show up here in the not in any category. But um, and that's kind of a glitch. So you may end up with other kits that you know that you've uploaded,
Right.
um, but they still end up here for some reason.
Kind of
Okay.
confusing.
Yeah, it's a pain in the rear end. So I have 32 in here and I can't get it any lower than that right now. So I'm waiting for them to do another update or something and to see if I can get rid of some of these. But anyway, so you might find your in kit not in any category, the one that you just uploaded.
Okay.
Um, where else might you find it? Where do you store your kits on your
Commercial
computer?
art. Under
Pardon?
commercial art.
Right, right. But in your computer, you store them in your F drive or on your C drive or on your,
On the C drive, and then I
okay,
have it backed up to an external hard drive whenever I remember to do that.
okay. Well, yeah, my F drive is my external hard drive. So, so Dave, for your information, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
us, because Artisan is a desktop or laptop facing item
Mm-hmm.
software, if you save all of your stuff on your computer, like all your art kits, then you're going to overload your computer pretty quickly because you only have so much storage. So
Don't want to
when,
do that.
pardon? Yeah.
Don't want
So
to do
when,
that.
no, no. So I have Artisan automatically, when I upload a kit, I have it automatically put it into my external hard drive.
Okay.
Okay. So, but that's something that you and Beth can deal with when you get there. Okay.
Yep.
But, but so that's, and then that way I can take my external hard drive and I can take it to Beth's office for my other computer where I have the guts of Artisan loaded. So the main program is loaded, but all this extra stuff I put into my external hard drive. So I can take
Okay.
my external hard drive and I can move it to that computer and be able to do work if I want to. Okay. So, so anyway, that's that. But I was going to say, Judy, that when you go into so let's say you're going into your computer and you're pulling up, let me move this over, and you're pulling up where you have your kits. So let's see here. I don't know where I have my kits anymore. Okay, digital content. I know it's in here somewhere.
Dave, for me, this was a little bit different than anything that I've used before because it's not kept in the art program. It's not kept in Artisan.
Right.
You have to
Okay.
download the kit into your computer, and Lindsay
Right.
downloads it into her external hard drive, which is a great idea. But then when you're in Artisan and you want to get something from your kit, it's really easy because the two things work together.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It sounds like
So,
it's a little confusing,
yeah,
but really it's not.
It's not hard to set up to do it the way I do it, but I'm
Right.
trying to find where
I'm good at taking notes, Lindsay, when I do things.
good. All
That's
right.
what I'm doing with Forever now, because I asked Beth a bunch of questions and I wrote them down, the answers. It's like, okay, here's
Yep.
how I do this.
Yep. But you
That's a
should
good
be
idea.
wherever you have your kits stored on your computer,
Uh-huh.
you should be able to go in. Well, let me see here. Where are mine? Well, that's not right. I don't want that. I want this. Okay, so if I have mine, digital content, commercial art kits. All right, that's in my F drive. But all right, so where's F? Okay. Digital content, commercial art kits. So here's my digital content. Here's my commercial art kits. And if I click on that, all of my commercial art kits come up that are on
Okay,
my.
we're still seeing your Artisan screen. Is that what we're supposed to be seeing?
Right.
Oh, sorry. Do you see it there?
Do the same thing,
We're
Lindsay.
still in
Still
Artisan.
the same thing. Okay, hold on. Let me stop my Artisan share for right now and we'll do this other one. Okay. Okay, so now you can see it. So
Yes.
over here in my F drive, I have all the things, a bunch of things. So if I go here to digital content and I come down here to digital art or commercial art kits. So I put all of my bright ideas and tips that we can save, because you can save all of those things. When I just save them to this area when I do them. Okay, so and I have my commercial art kits. So if I go into here, Judy, and go looking to see if something has uploaded, then maybe that's where you find it, and then you upload it to Forever.
No, I can't find it there at all.
You didn't find it in your
No.
commercial art kits.
I can find
Well,
it in my downloads, but I can't get it from download to commercial art kit.
okay, so I
Do I
guess
just drag it?
I was gonna say maybe you can download it again,
Uh-huh.
try it again and see if maybe something didn't click when you did it initially.
Okay.
Because Judy, if you download it again, it's going to tell you if you want to replace the other download or
Yeah,
not, and
yeah,
you can just go from there.
yeah. You
I
can
do
just
that with my
replace it.
embroidery patterns because sometimes I download them more than once.
Yep, yep, yep. So you can try that. Now I need to stop my share on that screen, don't I? All right, so then
Okay.
okay,
Well, I'll let you know when I find it.
okay, all right. And if you don't find it, then I guess my suggestion is to call forever.
Oh, it'll show up. It always does. It aggravates me though that I have to hunt and peck to find it. And
Yep,
then because I do it that way, the next time I have to do the same silly thing.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, maybe we need to reroute something for you so that it goes where it's supposed to go. And definitely customer care can help with that.
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So now we want to start looking at a we want to start looking at a the ribbon again.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to pull up my book that I have been working on for you guys. Not really working on, but sort of. So we've gotten through the home ribbon, the insert ribbon, the arrange ribbon, and the format ribbon. We did that format ribbon last week. So now we're going to go into the cut ribbon. And the cut ribbon can give you a whole bunch of fun things. So I'm gonna put a paper on my page. And we're just going to put a add to page. Now, the reason that we add to page is because if we want to lower the opacity of this, um, if we just do, then we can do that with the opacity piece. If I take that paper away and I just color the background, if I just color it, fill with a solid color, okay, then when I go to lower that opacity, you start getting these checkerboards in here.
Yes.
And if I'm just adding this to the background, I can't cut it. So I can't use the cut ribbon on that background. Okay. So I need to have a piece of paper over the top of it so that I can do whatever cutting I want to do.
I love that paper.
Yeah, it's out of the Night Sky collection by, well, let's go to format and look at properties. And it's by Cottage Arts. So Night Sky collection by Cottage Arts. Okay, so we're going to start with the cut ribbon. Now, if I want to make a straight line, basically, if I go to straight cutter, I have four options. One of them is a straight edge, and that's what you see here. This is the vertical one, and I can cut that. And if I want to save, I can save both areas, or I can save the unshaded side, or I can keep the shaded side. Okay. It depends on what I want. Now, people will flip things around if they want, if they need to. You can swap the shaded and the unshaded side. So if I want to keep, if I always want to keep the shaded part so that I know what I'm doing, because most of us have to say, okay, I want to save the unshaded part. And so then we know, we helps us to remember that we want to click the unshaded side. Sometimes it's just easier to keep both sides and delete the side that you don't want. But it's sometimes, depending on what you're doing, it gets to be pretty confusing as to what's shaded and what's not. And that's just, it just depends on what you're doing. So when you're cutting, you just click cut and it'll keep the unshaded area. So the shaded area will go away and I'll have that green color in the background. Okay. So now I'm going to go back. And like I said, you can choose whichever side you want to keep if it's the straight edge. And then what's cool about this is you have this angle here. So you can say, okay, well, I want it to be vertical. I want it to be horizontal. I want it to be 45 degrees. So you can get more precise angles. And then you can always flip the side that you want to keep. Okay. So we're gonna, any questions about that? Okay. The next one is the blended edge. Now, sometimes when you are doing a project, you might not want that very stark cut. You might want it to be gradually cut. So that's what the blended edge does. And you change your blend or your gradient or your gradualness based on how wide you have these apart. So you can see here, there's a lot of that shaded hatch marks. And then as you move to this side, that the hatch marks go away and you're going to end up with the plain, the regular cut. So I'm going to keep both sides for right now, and I'm going to cut this. Okay, so you see here in the middle where it's different, you can see the green in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I pull that away, you can see how gradual it is. And you can make that gradualness, if that's a word, as wide as you want or as narrow as you want. But it does give you a nice, it's not quite so stark or finite, I guess, a cut by using the blended edge. So that's pretty easy. The next one is the paper rip. So you know when you've got construction paper and you rip it, how you end up sometimes with a lighter color in there on the edges, or you might have paper that has white infused in it, so you have a white color. The paper rip, so you've got rough rip, you have wavy edges. So you see how they change, wavy edges and the rough rip on my screen. I can change how much I want to see of the rip. the white part, and I can change how regular or irregular I want it to be. So if I cut this, and I'm going to keep the unshaded area, you see how big that is, but it
That
gives
looks
you
cool.
it gives you the idea that you just ripped it apart and you have that in there. So you can hold on. Okay, so let me move that back. Okay, so you have those two things. And you can the paper rip, you can change it to a wavy edge one, and you can maybe change it like that. And so if I'm gonna keep let's change the angle just a little bit here. Ah, all right. All right. And let's keep the unshaded side. So I'm going to keep this top part. And then this is the shaded part that's going to go away. Okay, so now that gives you the wavy part of it. Okay. So that's a couple of things that you can do with the cutter, the straight. Let's go back a little bit farther here so I can get where, there we go. All right. Now, the shaped edge one is pretty interesting. So I'm going to change this to go horizontal here. And you have a bunch of shapes that you can put as your shaped edge. So let's say I want to make my edge like this with the arches, like arched doors. Okay, so I'm going to select that one. Now I'm going to open this up a little bit so I can see my arches. Can you see them?
Mm-hmm.
The arches?
Yes.
Okay, so I can change the aspect ratio of them. I can make them really skinny, or I can make them really fat. And then I can change the spacing of them. So they come in groups of 3 apparently. So we can have 3 and 3 and 3 and 3. So I can change that, or I can make them really close together so that you don't see that spacing anymore. And so I'm going to come down here I'm going to keep the unshaded area. So this top part is going to go away. And I'm going to keep the bottom area where I have the shaped edge. And I'm going to cut. And then you have your cut. Okay. So you have a lot of different shaped edges that you can use. I'm not
Some of those
deleting
are
any.
from a kit, aren't they, Lindsay?
Well, I think they're from your blah blah. They're part of that one was from a kit, yes. But you have built-in kits
Right.
in your
Right.
kit or in your
They're
program.
just not
Software.
that exciting.
Pardon? Yeah. So you can choose to do trapezoids, and you can select that shape. And now I can make the trapezoids smaller, and I can space them out more if I want to, or space them close together. I can change the width, which is the height basically of this. So I can change it to let's try 1.0 and see. Okay, so that made it taller. And then I can save the unshaded area and cut. Okay, so it just gives you a different edge to your paper, and you can bring it down. I should have done it differently than that. That's not exactly what I wanted. So you can bring it down, or you can rotate it and have it along the vertical side, just to give you a little different um, look to your paper. You can also add, we talked about this last week, adding the custom shadow. So I can change the shadow around, and I can make it further away from the paper, or I can soften it so it's not quite as bright. I can make, so there are a lot of things that I can do with this, just to give it some depth so that it kind of feels like you are using real paper. Any questions?
That's
No?
really cool what all you can do with that.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's very cool. And that's only the first thing on the cut. That's just this button. So there are lots that you can do with this program um, that you can't do with other programs. Okay, so that's the straight cut. Now, if I want to cut a shape, I can go to the shape cutter, and I can go here to this drop down box, and I can go to my built-in kits, or I can go to any of my commercial kits that have shapes, and I can cut out a butterfly shape, and I can change its size. I can make it 5 by 5 if I want to. Come on. There we go. So and then I can move it around inside my paper, and then if I want to, I can cut out that shape. So I can cut out. So if I want to keep the unshaded area, that means I'm going to keep this part, and I'm going to get rid of the butterfly. Okay. And then I can do the same thing I did before with the shadows and that kind of thing. If I go back and do the butterfly again, select from an art kit, go back to the butterfly again, and I say, where are you? There you are. Okay, so I'm going to make it smaller, and I want to cut. Oh, I'm not on the cut. Never mind. Forget that. Let me get to the the correct ribbon so that I can cut out my butterfly. And now I want to keep the unshaded, or I want to keep the shaded area. Okay, so now I'm going to keep just what's inside the butterfly and get rid of everything else. So I have that. And then again, I can do the shadows and whatever else I want to do with it. Okay. So that one's not quite as exciting as the other straight edge shapes, but but it's good to know that's one of the places that you can go to get your shapes. Another place that you can go to get your shape is over here on your content bar, and go to the puppy paw. And in the puppy paw, you have those same things. So common, here's the, oops, nature maybe. Here's the butterfly in nature, and you can cut it out from here too. So here in the drop down box, it says create this shape. Well, create that shape just means I'm going to create it, and I can fill it with paper or colors or whatever. If I create this shape, but I want this shape cut out of a piece of paper, so I'm going to cut it out of this paper here, cut it out, and that's what it's supposed to look like. And well, I didn't cut it out of there, but anyway, this is another paper with another butterfly. Okay. If I want to, let's say I want to change this shape, and I want to change it to this butterfly, the second one that I did. If I come here and I can apply this shape to the selected element. So I have this one selected, and if I do that, it changes it to that second shape.
Nice.
This is really helpful for when you insert, let's say you have a frame, a photo frame in here, and I want that photo frame to be in the shape of an apple. Well, that's a cherry, but whatever. All right, so that's the apple. Now, how am I going to cut this to make it look like an apple? The easiest way is to come here to the apple and apply this shape to the selected element. I don't want it to be a square anymore. I want it to be an apple. And then I can pull my photo in from here. Okay. So I don't, as I remember one time when we had a devil of a time remembering how to do that.
Mm.
And we just wanted it to go from a square to a circle. And there we did so many little shenanigans trying to get that shape a circle. And all we had to do was to come over here to the content and find the shape that we wanted. So if I want it to be a circle, I'm going to change this to a circle. All I have to do here is apply this shape, and it becomes a circle. Okay, so that's another thing that we can do. All right, let's get rid of
That makes it
these.
pretty easy to work around then on that paper then.
Yeah. So there are, and what's nice about Artisan is from a variety of ribbons, you can do the same thing. So either with your right click, okay, so I could change the shape with the right click. I can do a lot of different things. I can't cut when I'm doing with the right click, but I can do almost everything that's up here on the ribbons down here if I right click and go into the drop downs. Or you can come over here to the content area and find, this is paper, this is embellishments, this is shapes, this is strokes, this is frames, and then this is colors, where you can save a bunch of different colors if you want to. So you can come here to Puppy Paw and cut what from the paper that you have on your screen. So there are lots of different ways of whichever works best for you. If you're a ribbon person, use the ribbons. If you're a right clicker or a left clicker, then find a way to use the clicker, and do it that way. I need to add my paper back. All right, so we'll add a different paper. Okay, so the next thing on the cut is text. So sometimes this is essentially the same as the shape cutter, but sometimes you want to be able to do something where you want your title to be cut out of the page. So I'm going to make this smaller. Okay, so I could use this maybe as a title page, and I could make it say ABC, and I can change it to whatever font I want. Okay, so you really have a lot of options when you're doing this. Okay, so now I'm going to make it the size I want, and I'm going to center it. And now I can cut out my letters. Okay, now I have that. I can go ahead and again do the shadowing that I might want to do with it. I almost always use custom because then I can play with all of the arrows and see what I like best. And I can change the depth of things and all of that. So I like doing the custom one. But if I were to want to do that, there you go. Okay, so we're on text. If I want to, okay, so the last one, I kept the ABC. Well, what if I want to keep the outside, the unshaded or the shaded part? So I'm going to keep the shaded part and I'm going to cut out the ABCs. And that's what I get. So then you can do the formatting, the shadowing and that kind of thing. If I want to get fancy, I can go here to effects and edit my effects, and I can add a different kind of a shadow to it, not that one. I want to add this one. Get rid of that. Well, that's not showing me what I want to see. Okay, that's not what I wanted. What if, all right, remove that. Okay, cancel. Okay, so what if I want to do a regular format on my shadows, and I want, why isn't it doing what I want it to do?
Because you're not clicked on the
Because
ABC.
I'm not on the right thing. I'm on the background paper and not on my
There you
where I
go.
cut out the ABCs. Duh. You got to be on the right paper or the right thing to do it.
How do
You
you
got to
think
keep
I recognize
track of where you
that?
are.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to do the effects again, and I'm going to edit. I'm going to put an effect in, and I'm going to do the inside shadow. So you see where how the shadow came up?
Mm-hmm.
on there. I can also add a drop shadow. So now I have the shadow coming out both sides of my mouth. Um, but I can
It's like
also, I can also maybe add a 3-edge bevel. There we go. So I can add the 3D bevel on there so you have it stand out a little bit more.
How did you get the color on it?
On what?
On your bevel?
I think
It's
the
where the light
colors.
it's where the light is coming from. So the light that is coming from the bottom or the bottom right. If I move, so it's going to be lighter. So if I
Oh,
move it this way, the light is coming from a different
okay.
direction. And
It's
so it's
coming
going
from her
to,
background paper.
huh?
It's coming from your background paper,
No,
isn't it?
because the background
No, it's
paper is green.
coming from the a direction.
Okay.
So it's adding that bevel, but the lightness of the letters, the for the 3D effect is coming from an imaginary light source coming up.
I like
Okay.
that.
So
I do
that's
too.
so there are a lot of different ways that you can do that. Okay, so that's maybe a little farther along than you want to go tonight, but it just gives you an idea as to some of the other things that you can do with the alpha set. Um, okay, so we cut out the text. Now you can do a whole title this way, or you can, you know, do, all right, I want to get out of this. Oh, so let's insert another piece of paper. Add to page. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this one. Okay, so now we are looking at custom cutting. And custom cutting, you can cut out a straight path or you can cut out a curved path. And custom cutting, all right, we all know who this is, right? This is the quad god from ice skating. But if I want, but if I want, I don't want all of this white around here. I just want him. I'm going to come to my custom cutting and I'm going to cut out a straight path. And it's telling me that in order to be able to do that, I have to flatten my picture, and that's okay. So we're going to go with that. And so now I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to cut. This is very putsy stuff, but I could just go real fast and go around like this.
I love it. The kids
Okay.
like it a lot.
What's that?
The kids like to see themselves cut out.
Yes, yes.
At least
So
mine
I
do.
very quickly cut him out. Okay. And if I want to keep the shaded area because that's what I'm cutting out. So there we go. Okay. Well, that's kind of a
Is
sucky.
there a way to clean that up easily,
Yes.
Lindsay?
Yes.
Because that's
Yes.
the
So
part I don't know.
let's go back. We're going to do this again and we're going to do custom. We're going to do a straight path. We're going to flatten him and we're going to um, zoom in a little bit. But this is the putsy stuff. where you go very carefully or more carefully than I'm doing even now. And you cut around him. I'm not going to be super careful with this part, but I think you're getting the idea that
You don't get to go back if you make a mistake, though, do
no,
you?
you
Don't you have to
can.
you
Yep,
do
you
something
can.
else?
You can.
Oh,
Yep. So I'll show you. And
okay.
this is something that Pixels to Pages does a lot. And they will go over it a lot with us or give us the opportunity to practice it a lot. Um, but it is, and they zoom in a lot more than I am because they're a lot more putsy than I am right
Woo.
now. But okay, so I'm almost done. All right. So now there are some places that I still need to clean it up, right? So I'm going to go up here to my where it says cutout shape, and I'm going to go to complete this figure. And what I'm going to do now, you see, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but along this dotted line around his outside of his hair and stuff are
Yep.
these little dots,
Yep.
Mhm.
and you can click on one of those little dots and move it in or move it out, depending on how putsy you want to
Right.
be.
I love it.
Okay. You can add dots to it too if you aren't getting quite where you want, if the dot isn't quite in the right place for you. So you can add a dot in. So like how did that happen? Okay, so I'm gonna click on that dot and I'm gonna move it in. Okay, well now I need a dot to go up there to get that spot. So I'm going to add a dot, and now I'm going to move it up closer to his hairline. Okay, so I'm just going to move these in a little bit more. Tamika is really good at doing this.
Yes, she is super fast.
She's the expert at doing this. Okay, so so like here on his shirt, I can add a dot and I can pull it down so that it's closer to his shirt so that I don't have so much white. And if I went too far, I just have to re-click that dot and move it out. Okay. And that's
And
pretty
that was
good.
right on the top under where
Pardon?
it's to get
What?
those little dots. The complete this figure was at the very top.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep at the very top. Okay. So
Okay.
now I'm done with my putzing and I'm going to cut. Oh, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to have to start all over again, but I'm not going to. But you get the idea that I should have done um, the other the other side. That's the problem with doing this putsy cutting is that if you pick the wrong one to save, then you get to do it all over again. But
But you get faster.
you get faster and you get better at it. So I mean, there are the pros and cons to it. So, but
So
that's
there's
what's that?
so there's no undo button.
Well, there is, but it puts you back at very beginning undo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So
So
once you've cut, you have to go back to the very beginning of your cut.
oh,
So
it's
you,
not
okay.
like Photoshop.
yeah.
Or you
So,
can just backspace and clean it up. I've tried.
yeah,
It's kind of like a haircut. Once you cut it off, you can't put it back on.
that's
There
right.
you
That's
go.
right. Okay, so that is custom cutting. And then the next one is corners, so that you can, if you really like rounded corners on your photos, and you can come here and you can change the amount of rounded corner on your photo. You can change the rounded corner to maybe one that looks like this. So if I do that, then you get that funky looking shape corners. If I, okay, so I'm gonna go look at corners again. It's gonna make me flatten it. But I can go to this corner and I select it and I okay, and it gives me that kind of a beveled corners. So you can change the corners. You don't have to go with the squared off ones or the rounded ones. You have options in your corner choices. Okay. And then this is Tamika's favorite um, cutting tool, favorite tool. So I'm going to cancel that for just a second because I want to put another piece of paper on here. Insert paper from an art kit. I don't care what one. Come on. Okay.
Yeah, you do care.
All right. So we're going to get rid of him. Okay. So this one, the the um, the grid cutter. If I want to make a whole bunch of tiles, let's say, I can cut it into 8 by 8 squares, or yeah. So I can do that. And it'll take a minute because that's a lot of squares for it to cut.
How did you tell it 8 by 8?
I just went up here to this square up here at the top and I clicked on the 8 by 8 part. So if I do the grid, if I want, let's say now I want all of these 8 by 8 guys to have two pieces to them. So each one of these is going to be 2. So now I'll have 16 little squares. So each level is going to have 2 squares in it. Okay, so I'm going to cut that. This is going to take it a little bit of time too, but it'll show you it in a moment. Do 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 do. We could have, if we had done just a couple of them, it would have been, we should have done that probably. Okay, so now each one of those 8 squares now have 2 parts to it. So let me click off. So there's 1 and there's 2. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And I can delete this one if I want. Because sometimes Pixels to Pages will tell you to delete every third one or something. And so then you can, to make your pattern. I can also do control click so that I can delete all of these at the same time. Okay. So that's
Nifty.
the grid cutter. Um, they will one more. They will give you a size of a shape. Come on. Come on. Okay. So they'll give you the size of a shape. So let's say you have a this shape, which is not quite a square. And they may say center it. So you align it, so center on the page. And now they want you to grid cut it because you're going to have 4 spaces in here. So we're going to grid cut that. So 2 by 2, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. And then I can take this one and I can take this one, these 2 corner pieces, and I can grid cut those into 2 by 2. So you get 4 more spots that way. Okay. And then, so then I can change the size of these cuts to make my page more interesting. You can also right click and change the fill and go down to convert to photo drop point. So if I only want so let's say I want this fill drop point. Okay, so let's say I want 4 photos and I want the rest of it to be different colors, like a patchwork or something. I can take each of these little squares and I can move them around on the page if I want to and make a different design. So there's a lot that you can do with the grid cutter. It just depends on what your ultimate design is going to be. Does that make any sense to you guys?
Yes, it
Um,
does.
you can make a fringed edge if you want to by cutting 8 across and then cutting each one of those 8 squares into 8 squares or into 8 pieces, and you get this fringe. And then if you did the custom effects and you did a 3D edge, you can create a different thing. So there's a lot that you can do with this. Any questions? Everybody's
That
good?
is really cool with what you're doing.
Thanks. Thanks.
I
And like
think
I've
you
said,
got the bug.
yeah, like I said before, that you really can't break Artisan. So don't be afraid to play with any of the um, the the ribbons or any of the drop down boxes and just play with what you think you might be able to do with it. So that's the grid cutter. Okay. So this one also this one I can cut into different shapes again. It's another way to cut shapes is with the selection part of this, and you can select a shape so I can change it to a star.
What is the difference in that shape and the shape to the other star that says shapes?
There's not much difference
Okay.
with it, really.
Okay.
Okay, so if I select it, I think that's just all it does is create that. And you can add a stroke to it if you want to. I thought you could. Maybe not. That's just weird. I guess it just inserts the star into your page, but that's weird. Add matching pixels. All right. I honestly don't know. I guess that one's something I have to figure out too. Okay. Now if let's say I've got a whole bunch of things on my page and I want to do let's say um, a mass delete. I want to delete everything here because I can't deal with it. So I'm going to go to lasso and I'm going to flatten. So now I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out here. This is kind of like the create a um, being able to do the custom,
Snipping.
kind of like the snipping, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to do. Never mind. It takes me a minute too, because I have to think about these things too. All right. So lasso means if I'm going to cut out part of this photo. So I'm going to make it a quick and dirty cut. And then I'm going to select, and now I have to come up here to cut copy and tell it what to do. So I'm going to keep the selected area because that's what I selected. I'm going to keep the selection and now I'm going to cut, and it keeps that part of the picture. Okay. If I want to, I could have done that on the picture of Ilya Malinin. I could have used the lasso on him that with that first cut that I did. I could have taken a big swoop around him and had that as my cut. If I am looking at so if I do the lasso, I can I can invert that and have it take away the outer part. I can expand the outer part inward so that I'm making the inside smaller, and then I can contract it. So I'm making the outside smaller now by expanding that. But I want to,
And the pork chops in.
Okay.
I want to invert and select. And then I can, if I copy this, if I keep, oh, there it is. If I copy this, I get, you see how I have a little piece up here at the top? And I have the whole picture here. So if I do that, if I move that out of the way, okay, there's what I picked. Okay, so and now if I move that back on top, align center, no. Okay, so now I have this little piece here. And if I go to the format ribbon, I can put a shadow on it. You see the shadow there around there. It shadows that
Oh,
piece.
yeah. Yeah.
Or I can put I can do a right click, and I can do the effects, and I can put on a 3D edge on it, but that's showing around the outside. If I do that one, and I do the effects, edit, and I add a drop or an inside shadow, now I get the shadow here, but that's not. So you see where the shadow is on that one? Because I didn't do a very good job and I left part of it on the outside. But there are so many things, you guys, that you can do with these. You just have to play with it a little bit. What else can we do? The wand. Okay. Let me undo these. Come on, undo. Okay. If I put another picture in here, let's do Elia again.
I'll be there in a minute. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to leave.
You have to go. Okay.
I
Well, we'll
do.
send you the recording.
Okay. Thank you, Lindsay.
right.
Bye,
Yeah.
y'all.
Bye,
Dave, I
guys.
hope you decide to join us
Yeah.
because it's
Yep.
lots of fun.
Yep. Thanks, Judy. Okay, so we are on wand. Now, if wand is where I can click on this outside, and I can do all of the pixels that are kind of this color. So his face has some lighter coloring to it. So maybe I want to do adjacent ones instead. Let's move the threshold down. And I want to do, forget it, I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to do it again. If I do wand, Okay, so now I'm going to do adjacent. So I should only get ones that are touching here. But if I need to do other ones, I just click on other areas that I want to have the program consider. Okay, and I can up the threshold a little bit, and I can, now that gives me more of a full shape there to do. And then I can say, okay, I want to expand it a little bit so I kind of get into some of the little closer pieces. And now I'm going to select, and I'm going to cut copy, but this time I'm going to cut out all of that white or light colored piece. Okay, I get to do it again because I wasn't very careful. All right, so I'm going to do wand. I'm going to do adjacent. I'm going to invert the selection so that I am, I think, let me get this. All right, so now I'm going to invert the selection so that hopefully he stays here and the outside goes away. So now I'm going to select, cut copy. I'm going to keep the selected area, I think, and we're going to cut. Yay, there it goes. Okay. So now I can go back in and I can do wand again, and I can get rid of that red part there, and I can expand my selection a little bit so that I get rid of all of that red, and I can cut copy, and I can cut the selected area. Doggone it. I keep picking the wrong one. But that's where it gets to be really confusing, is to figure out exactly which area you are cutting and which one should be the shaded and which one should be the unshaded. So a lot of times I will keep both areas, and then I can figure out which one it is that I want to get rid of. Okay. So how are we doing? Is everybody doing okay still? We want to continue on, or are we getting overloaded?
You're doing fine with me.
Okay, the other two, deselect, just means you're going to unselect what you just selected when you're getting ready to do a cut, and then cut and copy. So if you have a picture and you want to emphasize a certain part of the picture, you can copy it and make it stand out a little bit more. I don't know if I can show you that or not, but maybe not with any of the ones that I have here. Okay, so if I want to wand out something, okay, and we did this a minute ago. If I want to wand out this guy, let's say, and I want to copy that so that I can add an effect to it. Let's see here. If that's my selection, I want, what do I want to do? If that's the selection, I selected that. I want to, so that's shaded. I want to save I want to do a cut copy. I want to do a copy. So I'm going to copy the, I'm going to copy the selected area because that's the sky, I think. Yep. Okay, so now that I have the sky selected, I can go and do a number of things. I can add a custom shadow, which kind of looks like it's going to be a thunderstorm. Or I can maybe add a filter with the 3D edge on it to the sky to make them stand out a little bit. Okay, so that gives it a 3D edge on the clouds or the blue sky. So there are, so the copy part, this part doesn't take away from this picture. It just allows you to add something to it. Does that make sense? But like I say, you kind of have to be careful with what
Yes, it
you're
does.
saving. And then that's why I sometimes will just save both copies because I don't know which one I want to save. So, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the cut ribbon. So any questions about that?
I am good. This was really great.
So yeah, the program has a lot of features that Photoshop doesn't have, that Lightroom doesn't have, that some of the other ones don't have. But you just have to play with them and play with all the drop down boxes. So how are you doing, Deb? Are you overwhelmed?
Greatly. Greatly. Hey, Dave.
Greatly overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
so Dave,
Yes. And I
you're
think,
gonna go to, you're going to Beth's event this weekend, right?
No, I am
yes,
not. I am not.
Okay, but Deb, you
I'm
are.
going Thursday and Saturday. Yes. And I think I was thinking when I asked you for the recordings, I was thinking we started in January, and I'm sorry about that.
No, it's
I
okay.
see the February 3rd
Yeah,
that you
I
put
don't
in. That's
think
the one I was missing.
oh, so did you get them?
Well, I checked the emails when I got home today that you had put a link in an album in your account.
Yep.
So that's the one. I was in Florida, so I didn't see it.
Yep, that's true. Yeah,
So
but
I
you
I
can
need to
now.
start there. Yes. So
Okay,
I'm
good.
excited to do that.
I had to call Forever today because I couldn't figure out how come people weren't seeing the link. And so finally
Oh,
I did I made that album public. I made our Artisan album public. So you should
okay.
be able to see it. Once you go to that album, it should show up on your visited albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, it shouldn't have to be public for the link
it
to work.
shouldn't have to be, but I put everything in the demo in my demo album.
Oh,
And so I don't know if but even still, you should be able to share out of your demo album videos and stuff. So I don't know.
uh-huh.
Ariel is going to see if she can figure out what it was.
Okay.
But that fix that I did seems to have fixed it so that you can see all of the albums. So
Okay, good.
because
Because I was starting to make a
I can't
list for
make it
myself.
collaborative apparently. A demo
Oh, in your
album
demo?
can't be made collaborative is what we're thinking. And so I had to do the public, I think.
Oh, well,
But
that makes
but
sense though, the collaborative part.
so anyway, so you should be able to get
Okay.
in and see everything. So
Okay.
have I sent you a link to the other recordings, David?
Yes, I got the link you sent. When I clicked on it, there were all the other presentations from this year there.
Good, good. So
So,
you can go back
right.
and look. And as we continue to go through the color and the filter and the rest of the ribbons, um, we'll obviously go back to do different things with the other ribbons that we've already gone through. Um, Kind of like we've been doing tonight and
Mhm.
doing a little bit back and forth. So,
This is
No, but this is
absolutely insane what it can do.
yeah,
right. It looks like it's got limited capabilities. It's just what do you want to do with your photos?
right.
Mm.
Right. You can do so much with with things, and it just depends on what you want. And
Right.
yep. So yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, you're
this looks
doing
like
a
a
good
system
job,
like we used to
David.
all do with Creative Memories, cutting our photos and then
Yep.
having to reprint them because now you screwed it all up.
Yep. 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 Isn't it nice that you don't have to reprint on digital? So
Right, because you're just taking all these photos from your gallery, right? I mean,
yep. Yep. So yeah, so when you upload photos from your to Artisan, you just go, so you have pages here, which are the pages you're working on.
mhm.
And then your photos, you just go to get photos and browse forever. And then you can click on every photo that you want to bring in.
Okay,
Okay. And then you click import and then they just show up over here in your
okay.
photo library.
That-
So you can, and then you just click and drag them into your page.
Kind of what I'm doing now because I have them
Mm.
all on a jump drive and I just moved them all into forever into the gallery.
Yep, yep.
And now
So
I'm moving them to
yep,
specific albums now.
yes, yes. Well, you know that you can move them to specific albums if you want to without going to the gallery and then moving them into albums.
Yes, I found it out last week when I was playing.
Okay. Okay. So you don't, so there's that way you eliminate one step if you can, if you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, good.
Lindy,
Yes, ma'am.
one question. So I was a member of P2P before I took advantage of it. The blueprints, the downloads, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I- Is that opportunity now expired for that year of membership if I didn't already collect them? Or can you go back and get them?
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know
Well,
the
maybe I
answer
just
to
have to
that.
try it and
Yeah,
see if I can even find it. I don't even know if
I
it's
was
available. I just was
I was
dreaming
going to
last night
say,
and thought about that.
what year were you a member?
Oh, even last year,
Oh, last year? Okay,
you
so
know. Yeah.
if you go to, not that,
Mm. Oh, fudging. I want to see what I have here.
If you go to, let me see if I can pull up Forever so that you can see it. Uh,
Do I have to be in P2P though, don't I?
well, yeah, but can you see my screen?
No,
You
you need to stop
It's
sharing
still
the
a
screen,
beautiful
Lindsay.
blue paper.
Okay, let me stop share and I'll share again. Um, okay, so I think if you went to orders and scrolled through all of your orders, 100 pages worth of orders, since
Mhm.
they don't,
Since forever. Yeah,
since they don't, yeah, since they don't have a way to
yeah,
be able to sort through. Let's say this
right.
was a pixels to pages thing, um, that maybe, um, maybe it would show up in your orders because
Well,
in my, in let's see, what month is that? That's January.
but
Let
if
me
I
let me go to
hadn't,
the,
don't you have to download them?
yeah, but you have to
Yeah,
buy
well, if I
them
didn't even do
first.
that.
Okay, so let's say,
Oh, right. Okay.
okay, so this one I got for free, but it's in my my orders. So this is the first of the month of January. This is part of the blueprints. Okay, this is January 1st. Um, but there should have been, let me
But
let
let's
me
say I wanted January or July of 2025.
yeah, you'll have to go back 100 pages in your,
But I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. I didn't get it from
oh, you
Pixels to
didn't
Pages.
buy it then. Then you're
I
probably, if
didn't
you
buy it. I
didn't,
didn't download it. I didn't anything.
yeah,
I
then
didn't
you're probably,
realize I was supposed to do it.
yeah, then you're probably SOL.
SOL. Okay.
I
That's what
would
I was
say,
curious.
I would say that you're
I would
probably,
understand that, but
yeah, it's unfortunate that, but you could email Tamika at tbond at forever and ask her if there's any way that you can,
oh,
because let's see,
You may have,
when you go to the pixels to pages page, like this one, when you go to the
yeah.
regular pixels to pages page, do you just
Uh-huh.
have the posts for this year, or do you have other
How would
posts
I know?
for, I mean, you're going to have to scroll down a lot
Oh, come
to
on, open
get
up here.
to
See all posts.
2025.
Let's see.
So that maybe,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
so like this is October 14th of 2025. So if I go down to October 1st, which is this
Oh,
blueprint collection,
yeah, I see them.
maybe,
Uh,
maybe you can still click on it and get those.
uh-huh. I will look into that. That's
you may
easy
be able to
enough to
still
figure
purchase
out.
them.
What's that?
Yeah,
You may still be able to purchase
maybe.
them.
Yeah, but these are free. With your membership at the first of the month,
Hmm.
they're included in your price of your membership.
Right.
So if you
Yeah.
click on those and say I want those blueprints, maybe it'll work. To me, it'll tell me that I already own it. Well,
Right. Let me
no,
see.
it's not. Well, maybe it won't let you.
PixieCon. Oh.
If I oh, you know what? What doesn't tell you that it puts it in your downloads. So it doesn't show up. Um, it doesn't show up, but it goes into your downloads. So when I clicked download blueprints, it's coming in
Oh.
up here in my download file. So that when I
Okay.
click on that, it tells me that it's uploading, and it doesn't tell me that I already own it.
But it will tell you you
Uh,
already have it when you go to put it to your other file, I bet.
Yeah, it'll when I go to, yes, it'll tell me that I own it if when I click on it to put it in the right place, it'll tell me, do you want to override these? Do you want, do you,
mm,
that kind of thing. So it won't let me
uh-huh.
duplicate them.
Right. Well, you
Just
can't even do that when you're buying other stuff either. It's
Yeah.
great.
for the
It's
most
it's
part,
lovely
that's
that it
true.
tells you you bought this. Hello.
Right, right. But
Yeah, which
if
is
you put this as a
awesome.
gift, if you put this as a gift, then you can buy it again and give it away to somebody.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But for
That's
yourself,
true.
they don't let you. They tell you that you already own it. So,
Yeah, I think I just downloaded one from October of 25.
okay.
I'll have to figure out what happened to where it went, but it went to my download file.
Yep, yep.
So that's a
Okay.
positive sign.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally. All right.
Okay. Well, thank you for
So,
that.
yeah. Yeah, it might be
Hmm.
possible to go back and get most of those. So,
Yeah. Like I need more
you've
art
got
kits.
job to do.
Oh, you
He's
have
got
no idea
homework.
what
Yeah, you've got homework,
I
all you
have more
guys.
homework. Oh,
So
I've been
David
struggling
doesn't
with
have
this,
any
Dave,
homework
for a
yet
long
because
time.
he doesn't have anything to do homework
No.
with. But once you become I want to start doing some of the bright ideas and the videos with you guys so that you can learn to play with those and give your own take on what they're asking you to do. Because the one that we just did a day or so, well, last week I guess, was something about ducks in a row. And well,
Ugh.
maybe I don't want to do ducks. Maybe I want to do something else. And so being able to make those adjustments is part of the fun. And so
Mhm.
so you make it your own and make it fit you. What, Deb?
I can think of something else, but I don't think they sell art kits for it.
Oh,
So yeah,
We're being recorded. I can't say those
that's
words.
true. That's true. That's true. So I can turn off the recording. So
Or we
so
could say, well, poop in a group is okay. That rhymes kind of even. So
yeah, yeah,
that could work.
yeah.
That's true.
So
Yes.
yeah. So
I don't know
so
who
anyway,
came up with that.
it,
But anyway. Well,
I'm
thank you very
sorry.
much.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you guys are here.
no,
So
thank you. Because, like I was saying about the virtual Fridays, this is a way for people to see what's available to use
mhm.
and decide if it's going to work for what you want to do.
Right, right. And Dave,
It's an interesting
I,
perspective, Dave.
what, Deb?
What?
I said that's a very interesting perspective. I hadn't thought of that
Yeah,
for this class.
yeah, yes. So one of the things that I've been doing or trying to figure out for myself is how do I use Artisan to create my family genealogy tree story, that kind of thing. And is Artisan the right platform for that? And maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. And you have to decide. I mean, it's the only platform that I have. I'm not going to go out and buy Lightroom or Photoshop or one of those other
Mhm.
things. I'm not going to do that. So Artisan is my platform that I have to use,
Right.
or I'm choosing to use, but I still have to make a decision about how my pages are going to look. Maybe I should do a vertical 8.5 by 11
Mhm.
um, book rather than a 12 by 12 book,
Right.
that kind of thing. So, I mean, there are questions that you need to, and then that informs the pages in Artisan that you're going to use. So you have to
Right.
start out with what you think you're going to use, um, because 8.5 by 11 files do not easily mold into 12 by 12 page files if you change your mind.
Mhm.
So you'd end up having to redo or reconstruct those 8.5 by 11 pages that you started out with if you want to go with the square
Mhm.
size eventually.
Mm.
So you kind of have to have that all figured out.
Right. And like I was telling Beth, because that's exactly what I'm doing, Lindsay, is I'm doing a photo family tree
Yeah.
album. And I looked at Shutterfly and the pages added up very quickly.
Yes.
And it's like, that's more than I want to spend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then when I saw Beth offering that virtual Friday, I thought, okay, I'll go to this. It's free. I can see what it is, see what's available. And then I went to the extra time, in
Yep. 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 Time away.
February,
Yep.
time away, and we got going with Forever. And so I started doing that. And now I've started separate albums for both my grandfather, my
Mhm.
on both sides, and
Yep.
my grandmother's on both sides. But now I'm looking at Artisan going, okay, now I could really narrow down those pages
Yep.
because I could put more information on one page, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I'm looking at
Yes.
my options, is what I'm
Yep.
saying, is this is
Yep.
helping me look at options.
Yep. Totally. Totally. And like I say, you kind of, with Artisan, you really have to decide. And in Artisan, you can go up to 199 pages. You're not stopped at 21 pages or whatever. So
Yeah.
it used to be only 99 pages in an album, and now we have 199. But um, so that would be a big book.
Yes, but I have
And
a big family.
yeah, yes,
You
and
could
it
use
would.
a larger size instead of a smaller one too. Use the biggest size available so you get more on a page.
Right.
Right, if you do the 12 by 12, yes. But
Hmm.
does that formatting within the 12 by 12 fit your
Mm.
aesthetic view of maybe what a book looks like? I don't know. But,
Right.
so if the 199 pages, you're still going to be spending a lot of money to create that book. But if you
Right.
wait for a 50% off deal, which happens frequently,
Club,
yeah, do club.
club.
Yep.
I am a club
Okay,
member.
good, good. If you're
Good.
on club and you wait for
That'll
the
help.
50% off, you you can wait until you have it all paid off before you
Right.
order it. But
And free
um
shipping.
true,
Yes.
that helps
Yeah.
too. So
Mhm.
there are ways to get your costs down. Um, but
Well, that is good to know about Artisan because I found out doing my grandfather's side, my mother's father. He comes from a family of 14.
yeah,
And I haven't even included the spouses and the kids because I don't have those yet.
okay.
Because my grandfather passed away when my mother was 9, and nobody kept in touch with that family. So now I found them through
Mm.
my heritage,
Yeah,
and it was fun trying to match them all up.
yeah,
And what I'm finding now is some of them changed their names,
yeah, yeah,
or they went
Happens.
by more than one name.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
it's
yeah, so there's always little hitches in there, and so yeah, it's very interesting trying to do that. And my grandfather on my dad's side was one of 13. And luckily somehow I have pictures of them and their families, but I don't know who anybody is. I mean, I could tell you the names of people, but I don't know that this one is Susie and this one is
Close to the
Anna
face.
and this one, I might be able to tell who the baby is,
right.
but I don't know all the rest of them. But I could tell you their names. They just
Mhm.
might not match up to the picture.
And I
But
have some of those photos too when I did my first albums through Creative Memories.
yeah,
The gals that I was doing, going away with for on the weekends were going, "You're going to include those photos when you don't know who they are? It
yep,
doesn't matter. They're
yep,
still family members. They may
yep,
mean something to somebody in the next generation
yep,
because they can see where the family came from."
yep, yep.
Hmm.
I totally agree with you that my mother has a couple of albums that are um, I assume that they are her grandmother's albums, but my mom only knows one or two people in the whole thing. And my mom says, "Why are you going to scan all these pictures when you don't know who's who?" I say, "Well, what if I were to put them up on Facebook and maybe
Same.
some somebody that I don't know from one of grandma or great grandma grandpa's family, somebody in the their descendants knows who that person is, you know,
Yep.
how, if I don't have the photo, and does it really matter that I don't know who they are? They are photos that my great grandmother thought were important enough to put into an album,
Hmm.
and so I'm gonna go with that.
Which is what I'm doing also. I'm
Yep.
just going with it.
Yep.
Yep. So
Yep.
anyway,
Even if we don't know. That's why some of those Facebook pages and decluttering and what have you is, oh, throw them away if you don't know who they are. It, oh, that just kills me.
well, I'll
Give them to a historical society or
yeah,
something. Don't
yeah.
just
Right.
toss them.
I
Well,
mean,
even as I told,
I might throw them away after I've scanned them,
Oh,
but
this isn't even that. It's I don't know who they are, so I'm going to just give them away
yeah, yeah,
or throw them away.
right.
And
well, as I,
that's a sin to me.
right. Well, as I told my nieces when I pass away, don't put the family photos in the estate sale. Just throw them away. I've gone to my classmates' parents' estate sales and they're selling the family photos. I'm
I know.
going, who's going to want
Yeah.
them?
Well,
Well,
and
they
those
must.
people that you go to a antique store and you find those photos that are either nicely framed, nicely matted, they're the
Hmm.
old timey photos, and you go, somebody is should have this photo, and trying to figure out. I mean, there are people out there who try to figure out who owns or who would own this photo, and I don't know
Right.
how they do it, but yeah. So I agree with you, on part of it, Deb, that we should keep them. And I probably will keep more photos than I probably should, but
Yeah,
I'm going to
ditto.
throw away,
Especially the old ones.
the landscapes of things that I
Mm.
know that I don't know where they are. And so nobody else is going to know where it is. So I'm going to throw that away. But if it's a farm in my mother's albums, then I might assume that it's a family farm someplace in New York,
Which it could be.
Hmm.
which it probably is.
Hmm.
But and
Yeah.
it may be a family farm, but I don't know because there's no indications on it. So, but I'm going to keep
Yeah.
them anyway.
I recently discovered Google Lens, and while it's not perfect, it has given me some clues
Cool.
on some partial pictures I have to go looking in maybe a state or at least an area of a country where I
Mm-hmm.
might find what I'm looking for.
Cool.
Hmm.
Very cool.
So,
Very cool.
yeah,
All
Google
right.
Lens.
crazy technology.
Yep. Yep.
Well, here we are.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
So we'll see you
Oh,
Friday.
yeah, I'll see you Friday. I don't know
Mhm.
that we will meet next Monday because we'll be done with Pixie 500 by then, but maybe we will. I'll see how it goes and see if anybody wants to meet to talk about Pixie 500. But typically, this would be our last meeting this month for the first and second Monday.
Oh, right. First
So,
and second. Yep. Mhm. Well,
okay.
I didn't participate, so and I don't know. Linda might, but she's had some
Yeah, her
family
husband,
concerns
yeah,
and business
some
concerns
issues
lately.
going
So
on. So that's why
yeah.
she hasn't been here the last couple of weeks,
Hmm.
is having some family things to
Yeah.
deal with. So, and she
Yep.
paid
That
for it.
and
So,
business.
pardon?
Well, I think she's probably going to do that. I mean,
You think
somehow I think she will.
she's gonna
Well,
participate somehow in Pixie 500?
somehow
I mean, she'll
I
have all the
think so.
recordings. She'll have all the recordings
Yeah,
whether she comes live or not. So,
that's
but
true. It's more of there's some, she belongs to a lot of boards
yes, she
and
does.
there's some things going on. So
Yep, yep. So,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, it's been fun, and I will see both of you on Friday.
Yes.
Yay. Thank
Yay.
you.
Yeah, you're
Thank you,
See you
welcome.
Lindsay.
Yep.
Friday.
See you Friday.
Okay.
Bye.
Yep. See you
Bye.
later.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye bye.
I know.